Hello, welcome everybody to the July 2021 Conversation at the Center. We have quite a bit of information to go over today, questions. First, I'd just like to, again, welcome everybody. Thank you for the participation. Thank you for joining us today. The whole reason we're doing these Conversation at the Center, so questions can be asked of the center and you can get answers back in a much more timely manner. And also an opportunity to engage the public, see, have the finger on the pulse kind of thing. And so we can see what people are thinking, how they're thinking it, and address questions a lot more directly. On the line from the Animal Service Center, we have Dr. Haddon. She is our medical director. We have Bernice Navarro, she's our operations manager. We also have, what's your name? No, I'm just kidding. We have Michelle Williams. She's our front office supervisor on the line. So we're all here. If you have a question pertaining specifically to that department, then let me know or let them know and we can answer those questions. If time allows, we'll open it up for questions. But again, I have a whole bunch of emails here, all with a bunch of questions on it. So we're gonna get started. The first question is, they've been asked by several folks in our community if they can help volunteer to sit with dogs during the July 4th firework hours. Currently, right now, we don't have a program like that. So the answer would be no. Only because it would require my staff to be here during that nighttime time, which means the overtime hours. That and I've been here, not during the 4th of July, of course, at night, but I've been here at night and everything is really, really quiet, especially if they're going to do the fireworks down the big one, the big show. It's going to be down at the NMSU like they have the last couple of years, then it shouldn't be a problem. However, it is a good idea and I want to get to that point where we have enough volunteers and also staff that be able to do that. To comfort the animals during that time. So no, but thank you. Excellent suggestion. The next one says, please speak to the situation. What it is there was a cat that was impounded by the city. And just trying to figure out the best way I can tell you the situation here. The information that I have is the cat was given to somebody else and that person turned it over to animal control. The owner, the actual real owner of the cat stated that they were not giving the cat to him and that the cat was not feral. But this person who had custody of the cat, they, according to the other owner, lied and said that the animal was very aggressive and so on. So they didn't, or aggressive towards her. So city animal control impounded it as a feral cat and it came into the center and was euthanized prior to the 3-day hold period. It was looked at by a manager here and they confirmed the euthanasia and we're able to euthanize it. So the question is if you're supposed to hold it for 3 days, why did you euthanize this animal beforehand? And the answer is in the city ordinance, it states that feral animals or animals that are deemed feral do not have to be held for that time period. And it's a silly ordinance to help with the population of the center. We only use that ordinance again with the city for one, and two, that only if we are at capacity or can't able to provide that proper level of care needed. So that animal was euthanized. And then later, the owner of the animal came looking. We were able to put 2 and 2 together, and we had to inform the owner that the animal was euthanized based on that. We know that animals act differently here than they do in the public or in homes. But this one was acting in a manner that would make the individual think that it was feral, hissing, and charging the cage front, that kind of thing. So we don't like to do that, of course, but it gets to the point where we have so many animals, so many cats specifically coming in, especially from the city, we have to make those tough calls. All right, this one says, with private vets, a client is typically given a set number of days to return if there are any problems following surgery. What is the ASCMV policy on this? So Dr. Hatton, that's a question for you. I'm gonna let you take that one.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
It says, with private vets, a client is typically given a set number of days to return if there are any problems following surgery. What is the ASCMV policy on this? And then there's more after that, but that's the first part.
Okay, they can bring them back. We have them contact the medical staff. They call the front, and then they can talk to the vet techs, and they can send a picture and show us what it looks like. And we probably 9 times out of 10, we have them come and we look at those complications or whatever they're seeing. We also are in the process of coming up with a system to track complications for the different animals and the different doctors. We've not come up with the best way to do that yet. So right now we're pretty much doing it by hand, but yes, we do track them and we see these post-op complications and treat the post-op complications.
Is there a set number of days that they have to bring the animal back?
It's usually around that 10-day mark, because typically it goes to adoption, and that's kind of been our guide, is the 10 days after adoption, then it's on the adopter. But it's not a set in stone 10 days, especially if it's like something that we've been working with and we're going over the 10 days, we'll still see it.
Yeah. And then the other part is what is the return or the rate of return for problems?
Again, we don't have a set system yet to be able to track that. But given that we had, do you know how many complications just this month? Okay, so I have the gal here that is trying to come up with how to track this. She says that we did about 400 surgeries in June. We had 2 complications, and those complications were minor complications, which means they were sent home on antibiotics and potentially NSAIDs, an anti-inflammatory. As far as I know, none that we've had to go back into. I mean, that has been probably at least 9 months since we had one that we had to actually go back into surgery wise. So.
Okay, thank you very much. To continue, it says, can you update everyone on the status of filling vacant positions? That's a great question. Our grant writer is a very experienced, has just left the NMSU grant application office. So they have incredible experience there. And she's also very active in the rescue world. So we are welcoming her in. That's our grant writer position. Starts July 6th, pending a drug test being passed. So I'm not going to say the individual's name yet, but we are very excited for that. Let's see. The animal caregivers, front office positions, and also the volunteer coordinator have all the interviews are completed, and we're now in the reference check portion of that. job offers should be going out pending passing a drug test this next week. So we are excited. Hopefully, human resources with the city will be able to move those through quickly. The rescue coordinator position that's open is being filled by one of our very own, Amy Deflix. So we're excited for her. Amy is an animal caregiver. So she'll stay in that role just for a few more days, like about another week or so, until we can get her position filled. And then she'll be moving through the ranks to be our rescue coordinator. We're excited. I always love it when we have staff being able to move through the ranks here at the ASCMV, because they have a sense of empathy and also the understanding level of what it takes to do things. So it's fabulous. And that's pretty much all the vacant positions that we have right now are those positions. Now the animal caregiver positions, oh wait, Dr. Haddon has a position, a surgical, that just closed last week. So you should be entering into the reviewing of the application stage. So we're still several weeks out for that one before interviews start. But that job has closed, correct, Doc?
Yes.
Yeah, and Clint, it has closed, and I did receive the candidates, so I'll be forwarding those on to Dr. Haddon here shortly. So
Thank you, Bernice.
And veterinarian.
Thank you. And our veterinarian, and that also answers the next question that's on this. The veterinarian position is still not available, or it's not being filled. We don't have any hits on it, but we are trying some new things. We have let me see if I can find it really quick. We worked with our marketing company, and we have a postcard that we're going to be sending out to over 200 places. That's going to include places like veterinarian offices to see if any vets know of anybody. It also includes, here's the postcard that we had made. It also includes schools, any places like that. So as you can see, it's very colorful, has some of the things here on the side of what we're looking at. Some preferred, it has a link right here that automatically goes to the job description and where to apply. And then on the back side of it, we talk about Cruces, how very sunny and white sands and a great market that we have. So everything to do. So I feel very confident that we're going to get some action off of this. It's looks very professional. And again, we're getting schools, ag schools, we're getting veterinarian departments, multiple departments in schools all throughout the United States. Like I said, we're sending it out. Our goal is to hit a minimum of 200 different places, and we have staff working on those right now to get those out. So those will be going out by the end of the month. So hopefully we'll have some more information the next time we meet on that. Doc, did you have anything you want to answer that?
I just want to reiterate that shelter medicine is a new specialty. High quality, high volume spay neuter, which is what we're looking for, is even a newer one. And there are very few individuals that do it. We are willing to work with the doctor coming in, but I keep hearing we need to offer to pay them more. It's not the pay, it's the specialty. It's a very difficult specialty to want to be in. So just be patient with us and believe us, we really want one also. So we're doing our best to get somebody in here.
Yep. Thank you for that. The next question is since this keeps coming up over and over, will you talk about people being told, or so they say, the shelter won't accept a healthy found dog? Let me show you what we give to individuals. So when somebody comes to us and they say, I have this animal that I don't want anymore, then, and the animal is perfectly healthy, it's not aggressive, it's not injured, it's not sick, then we tell them, we says, here is this list. And this is the exact same thing we give to people. It just gives a list, as you can see, of different organizations that might, it says right here, that may or may not be able to assist you. We do not say they will. It's a may or may not. And then down here at the bottom, he says, we need your last option. So you just need to call us and make an appointment. Here is if you found an animal. So if the animal is perfectly healthy, it's not injured, it's not sick, and it's not aggressive found animal, these are some things we ask you to do as the finder. And then again, down here at the end, if you're not able to hold on to the animal, please contact us. We'll take the animal. So that it's frustrating when people say we won't accept it. And the truth of the matter is it's a yes and no question or answer, is that yes, we will take it, but I want you to do these things first as a responsible pet owner. Now, if the person, after we give this to them and they say, well, I don't want to do all this, I'm just going to throw the animal out, then we will take the animal. We've done it several times, all through the pandemic and even now. We'll take it. But if the person never says that, we don't know they're going to do that, then it's up to that individual. So that's the reason why. So if they go and they just drive around the corner and dump the dogs out, we have no control over that, what to do. The next part of the question is are you going to take down the COVID notice on the web page, which basically says that we don't accept a healthy found animal? So the answer is yes, we're working on that. We're actually going full on, all the way open on the 6th of July. So that we are going to change that pop-up. It's no longer going to talk about COVID, but we are going to stress some of our new policies on that. And that's what I want to address next, because the next questions is, with the state reopening 100%, all pandemic related occupancy restrictions lifted, will some of the policies be changed? Very much so. However, some of them won't be changed. So one of the ones that is the most meaningful to us, and also the biggest change for the public, is how we're going to be looking at animals from now on. In the past, somebody would say, I want to see what you have up for adoption. They come in the center at any time when we're open. They walk through the animals. They don't see anything that they like, and then they leave. In the meantime, what's happened is they've stuck their fingers in multiple cages, passing along possible sicknesses. They rile up the dogs, so they're barking. Those dogs are redirecting towards each other and getting frustrated with each other. And it turns into a loud, frustrating mess, not only for the dogs, but also for the people that are trying to care for them, and also the people that are walking through trying to look for them, because it doesn't come out as a positive experience. So what we have found during COVID is that if people make an appointment and they see the animal that they like to have to look at online, then they're able to come in and take a look at it. It's worked out fairly well. Are adoption numbers down? Yes, they are. But I don't think it's because of the appointments, because we were doing the appointments all through COVID, and our adoption numbers were just fine during COVID. Actually, they were comparable to 2019. So we went back and forth with this in our managers meeting. We honestly did, of figuring out how we're going to not have it be such a huge change for the citizens coming in. And what we came up with was, if somebody comes in and says, I want to look at your animals, and there's a time available right then at that time, yeah, let's have them sit down, look at the animals we have, and then we can start that process. We're not going to turn somebody away if there are slots available for that. So that kind of answers the next question that they asked is, are you changing the adoption process? And that says, would you consider letting prospective adopters walk through the kennels and look for their future family members? And I already explained that and why we're not going to do that. With the one caveat that is, if things continue to be detrimental and low and our outsource of adoptions continues to drop and drop and drop, then we will look at doing something different. If anybody knows me, they know that I'm always up to trying new things for these animals and getting them out. So this is one thing we're trying. What we have seen is we are saving significant time for the animals and also for staff because they are healthier. They're healthier because we don't have people passing and being that vector throughout the entire adoption kennel. And they're also, we have less behavior issues because they're not loud, they're not barking, they're not frustrated with what's going on. So the visitors in the kennels being lower keeps that to a minimum. Doc, do you want to say anything?
No, but there has been a significant change in the health of the animals since we stopped having folks go through. Not to say that we don't have disease, but it isn't being transferred nearly as much. And if you've ever sat in an office back here in amongst all the kennels, listening to it now versus when folks are going through, it's an amazing difference. And it's a lot better. They're just so stressed with people walking through. Although we still do want volunteers to come in and take them out and we want them to have that enrichment, but having people walk through willy-nilly is no kind of enrichment, and I don't think it does anything good for the animals. That's all.
We have doing some other things as well to keep stress down. We're doing a little bit of enrichment with select kennels. And then we have music playing, music that's been proven to keep animals calm through studies. So every kennel has music playing in each one. And it's amazing how it does quiet them down, actually. You'll see that, it's great. Would the shelter consider doing a monthly Saturday or Sunday parking lot adoption event like they did a couple months ago? So I think what they're referring to is when we had all the foster animals here in our parking lot and individuals came and looked at those. I think it was a success. However, it was incredibly difficult to put on with, again, that limited staff that we have. So it's not an excuse. As soon as we get the volunteer coordinator on and also our foster coordinator, and we're able to, foster coordinator is a brand new position that is going to be making the rounds through HR. But as soon as we get those positions actually filled, I would love to see a monthly event like that. Anything to get our foster animals seen more would be great. Next question is, please provide an update on job vacancies. I've already done that. And has the volunteer coordinator position been filled? And so the answer is we'll be doing a job offer coming next week. It says, and when will dog walking training start again for new volunteers? So as soon as our volunteer coordinator has their feet under themselves, we'll be connecting the dots as far as training with volunteers and get that in. I can't give a date right now or a time frame because it's all up to city HR about, because we give our recommendation and then HR schedules the drug tests, HR receives the drug tests, HR reads the drug tests, and then the individual has to wait for the training that the city provides. So it all takes time. Yes, Michelle.
back up on your adoption event thing,
Yeah.
just so everybody knows, we go to farmers market every Saturday, and those are all fostered animals that go there. Just so everybody knows that. So
Yeah, they wanted to do a once a month kind of special thing as well
yeah.
for that. But yeah, as soon as we get the staff, I promise everybody that when we get back up to that full staff, that we'll be able to do a lot more. All right, here are some questions. Why are the pets of the week not getting a lot of publicity or visibility? We have not changed anything for pets of the week. They're still being sent to all the news agencies, newspapers, and being placed on Facebook. So they're still getting the same as they were. If that's different, if somebody has any ideas of what to do, just let us know. They're also announced in every city council meeting every week, and also every county commission meeting. So both of those are also recorded so people hear it, and they are shown on TV, live TV as well. So is the shelter going to have adoption specials to encourage people to adopt? Yes. Currently we are in one. We had one the week of Father's Day, and that was a fun event, $25 adoptions. And now with July being, the 4th of July and freedoms, we have a special we've done a couple years now called Freedom to Choose, where the adopter has the freedom to choose what adoption price they want to pay. All of the adoptions are still sterilized prior to leaving. So don't think that people are getting out of that. It's a $1 minimum. They have to at least pay $1, but they get to choose on their adoption price. And it's interesting. Every year we have, be it a very small select few that that will give $100 for it. And then most will ask, well, how much is it usually? And they usually pay a few dollars cheaper than what a regular adoption price is. So it's a fun event that we're able to participate in. I'd like to see something done at least once a month or every month. And by the way, that special for the Freedom to Choose is the entire month of July. But we'd like to do something every month, whether it be for a week or a couple days or so on, especially now capacity is higher. We're trying to move animals out. Next question is, would it be possible to have the public or foster rescues enough notice for code red animals? Here's the problem, everybody, is that we don't know what our intake is going to be. If I had a crystal ball and I knew that 25 Chihuahuas were coming in tomorrow, then I could give you, or next week, I could give you a week's notice. But with the animals that are constantly coming in, that the answer is no, I can't do that. If we want to increase possible euthanasia and say, let's keep this many kennels open all the time, then yeah, I could probably give you a week, but it would be constant. And not only that, I don't like to do those pleas, because if I have to beg and plea and threaten to euthanize an animal, then it worries me that everybody kicks into high gear, when in reality, any animal that leaves this facility is saving the life of at least them and one more. So please, so the answer is no, I cannot give you a week's notice. What I can do is we can communicate. You can ask us questions. Because the way we do euthanasia is, first we go to the really bad medical cases. And then from there, we go to medical that are not responding to treatments. And from there, we go to super bad behavior issues. And then we go to not so bad behavior issues. And so these are animals that would be either not available for adoption or specialized rescues, all the way down to perfectly adoptable animals. And to the best of my knowledge, we have not had to euthanize perfectly adoptable animals as of yet. We have done some with manageable behavior issues. And those are the ones that we do let people know about. So I can't tell you when we're going to get that low on our list of euthanasias, but we will do our best. And I think that's what we're doing. Dr. Haddon, you want to say anything on that? Okay. Next question is, I've noticed cats with ringworm are getting euthanized per the daily stats report. Are they euthanized the same day they come in? It depends on the condition, but generally 99% of the time is no, they are not. And it says, why are we not seeing posts to ask for rescues for the community's help? Because we don't always post on who we're asking. We'll call our known people that take ringworm animals and we'll ask them, but ringworm cats are notorious. They're so hard to get out and to move. And the rescues that do that, like APA, we just talked with them today, had a great talk. They're completely full of ringworm and ringworm cats, and they can't take any more for them. Also, the ones that are getting euthanized generally are not the first time they're being treated for ringworm. So sometimes they'll be treated for it. They're not clearing up. So our medical team does another treatment round for ringworm. Ringworm is so hard to get rid of on the animal in a facility because of the stress factor. Because that's the number, or not the number one, the main reason why these animals are breaking with it is because of the stress. Next question is, when will new dog walker volunteers be allowed to sign up and start walking dogs? So current dog walkers and volunteers that already have the training, you can come anytime and you don't have to sign up for an appointment. You come in and you can walk dogs. I think this question, it says, when will new dog walkers, so people who still need to get that training, again, once our volunteer coordinator comes on, we'll be able to get those started. All right, looks like we have some chats going on, because that concludes all the email questions that I've received. Bernice, did you have any other?
No, I don't have any others through email.
Great. So some of the quotes are, this looks like it's going back to our first question we had regarding the cat that was euthanized. It says, are you looking at whether or not the cat appears well taken care of when determining feral status? Of course. Yeah, if the dog or if the cat has a leash on it or a collar on it, has a microchip, painted nails, a long-haired cat looks like it's been shaved. Those are all things that show sign of ownership. So that would not fall in to the category of being able to euthanize it early. Let's see. This says that he's never been caged, so that's probably why he reacted the way he did. I feel you guys don't even try to understand the animal. Do you always go based on what was said? I literally went the day after he was put in your facility and he was already put down. Yes, again, my heart goes out to you. I am very sorry. I know you probably don't believe that I'm an animal lover, but I am, and all of us here are. That's why we do what we do. But the hard reality is that when we are full, we have to make some hard decisions. So if an animal is acting the way that your cat was and had no sign of ownership, then he does fall into that category and was euthanized. And do we always go off what was said? Yes, that's the only information we have. We did not know that individual was lying, so you say. So again, I'm really sorry that this has happened. If the cat was microchipped and had you as the information, I can probably guarantee 99% this would not have happened. Another comment says, I'd like to understand more on how the determination of feral is made. Rescue cats have come in that charge the kennel, hiss, growl because they're frightened. Given a couple days, most have calmed down and are clearly not failed. You are absolutely right. We have some cats in here that hiss and pop, especially the kittens. And after a few days, they calm right down. We see the same thing. But you have to understand, when we have a kennel or a room full of kennels, and every single kennel is full, and we have one cat in a cage that comes up to the front, and it needs to be put in an actual kennel, and it comes up to the front and is rubbing and is happy, or one that is hissing and popping and charging the front. We don't have the luxury of having that animal stay and try to get it out. We have to make a decision right then. How do you determine they're feral? I just explained that. If not given a chance to get to know the animal or even try. Again, I'm sorry for what occurred, but the hard reality is what the hard reality is. Did the cat in question have a tag? No, it did not. The picture posted by the owner of the tag is not clear. The cat had it when it arrived at the shelter. Yeah, there was in the impound thing from the officer, our impound record, it doesn't state anything about a tag or a collar. So it looks like it's a conversation happening in chat. So I believe that is this. I am so, I don't know what the right word is, not happy, but I am glad that people care this much about their animals to have this hard conversation that we're having now. And it breaks my heart that it happened. It truly does. Like I said, every one of us here are animal lovers, or we wouldn't be doing this. We sure don't do it for the money. And I would much rather have you this concerned about it than just brushing it off and saying, oh, whatever, it was just the cat. So thank you for caring and asking the questions. I appreciate it. Michelle or Bernice, do either of you have anything to say to the group? Anything that needs to come out?
Nothing. I don't have anything. No, I just, the same as you reflected, we're just glad that there's a few people that are attending these meetings, and please spread the word and get more people to attend. And that way we can be very frank with everyone and, hopefully understand each other a little bit better on what happens here and things like that. So I appreciate you all being here too.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Michelle, nothing?
No, sir.
Okay. Dr. Haddon, do you have anything you'd like to say in closing?
No, just thank you. And thank you for asking questions and caring. We do the best that we can, and we want to answer all the questions to the best of our ability. And if we can change something to make it better, we're all about change for the good. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we part, one really quick thing is the new center is under construction. They are moving a lot of dirt, everybody. We're so excited about the amount of work that's getting done and noticeable work. And we're going to get a picture posted on Facebook so you can see how much that area here to the west of us has changed. So we're excited. I think there's something else. Oh, I remember. Our new budget started yesterday. So we're now officially into the next budget year. So we're able to move on a lot of these things that we've been waiting for the past month or so. So a lot of things are going to be changing as far as getting new equipment and fixing up the center. We have plans to do some landscaping in the back area. One of our drainage ponds is more of a pond than it is a drainage. So that's going to be fixed. We also have some other areas of the center like I said, more equipment. We have our grant that we received, the $150,000 grant from the Carol Petrie Foundation. We're going to be using that to purchase some awesome laboratory equipment, including an X-ray machine, X-ray table, there's lights, all these fabulous things that we have there. So that will be a huge help to us to be able to do some good diagnosis and help us out. So we're excited for that. And I believe that's it. Anything else? Oh, there's one more question. It says, I called today, the cat was impounded and was told he was not there. Why? All I can tell you on that is that animals are described differently to us. And we always encourage individuals to look and see what we have, not just as a description. So I'm sorry that that was not explained to you, or that there was a mistake on that. So, well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. This recording will be posted as soon as we can get it on to our webpage. We appreciate everybody's participation. Have a great day. Good 4th of July.
Thank you. Bye.